everyone, it's Julie with Arty Party Paints, and today my wonderful husband Andrew and our adorable little dog Newton is going to help me show you today how to do a puppy dog face. It's very cute. So let's get to it. Alright, so to start for your puppy dog today, you're going to use your Wolfer Diamond FX white and a sponge cut into quarters. You're going to load up that sponge fully with your white, just like that, squeezing it to get a lot of paint in there. Some people like to use a brush to fill this part in, but I find it's faster if you use the sponge. You're going to start right between the eyes and dab your white all down across the nose. You keep reloading if you need to with more water. You're going to come right underneath the nose. You can squeeze your sponge to make it smaller so that it fits in that area, because you don't want to get it on the lower lip if you can help it. Fill that all in. Just create kind of a teardrop shape up and around it that's equal on both sides. There we go. Alright, so now you have that basic shape in sponge. That's going to be your quick fill-in. Now you're going to use your filbert brush right here. That's your kind of fingernail shaped brush. And fully load that one up with this same white. And now you're going to create your kind of fluffy fur. So by doing that, I'm going to turn to the edge of the filbert, so the thin part of it, and you're going to pull up like that on the thin edge to give it some wispy fur. And the same thing, you're going to follow these rough edges that your sponge put down and just fill them in by flicking the edge of your filbert brush out to create some fur. You can fill in any spaces that maybe your sponge missed and try and blend it in. Alright, and now you're going to add the ears on top, which just sprout from this little part in the middle. I like to use the flat edge of my filbert starting out and then curve the filbert around so that you have the edge. So you're flattening it out and then turning it as you go onto your edge, and give that a few flicks just over the eyebrow. You don't have to go down too very far. Same thing on the other side. Try and match those shapes. Just flick your filbert out. Looking good. Alright. And now comes the fun part. This is also where you would add glitter if you wanted to add glitter. I'm not going to do that today. We have enough glitter in our life, right? Alright, so you're going to add your tongue now. So I use a rainbow cut up one like this with red, pink, and white. You can also just use red if you'd like. And you're going to take a flat brush to load it up and start about in the middle and just pull straight down and curve that around, and then flip your brush over so the red is on the outside. You want the darkest color on the outside, and pull that down to blend it in just like that. Then you have your little tongue sticking out there. Alright, and finally the last thing you need to do is all your details and outline with your Wolfer Diamond FX Black. This is a number 4 Majestic brush. It's a little bit thicker than a typical liner brush. You get a lot of paint that carries through on your load. So for this one, I like to start at the tuft and just flick out to kind of trace those little hair tufts that you have at the top. Flick around the ear a little bit. It doesn't have to all be connected. In fact, it looks a lot better when they're a little bit wispy and they don't all touch each other, because that's kind of how natural hair would be. Just flick back around. Alright, and this part I don't typically outline between the eyes, because you can never get a good straight line there because it's such a bumpy area. So I just start about there and I flick out, trying to follow those lines that I created before, and flick down. Same thing on the other side, just flick down, create that fur. Now you're going to do the nose. And for dog noses, they're kind of like cat noses. You just pull down across the tip on both sides, creating kind of a heart shape. And for dogs, they actually kind of connect across the middle to make more of a triangle. So you're going to pull those down and then pull right across to make it more of a solid black triangle. Then you're going to take the same liner brush that you've been working with And you're going to gently, at first, you're going to start very lightly and pull down, and then press harder as you get to the top of that lip right there to create a triangle shape, kind of like a teardrop triangle shape. And from the very corners of the mouth, you're going to flick in and up towards these nostrils. Kind of follow the normal smile lines that people naturally have there. And again, from the very corner, flick in towards the nostril. Looking good. I like to do little tiny whiskers, just starting from that line that you just made. Pull in towards the nose 1, 2, 3 times. And 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 pulls in, and 1, 2, 3 dots. Outline the shape of your tongue right there. And give it a little line down the middle, because that makes it look more like a tongue. Finally, you just have to add some spots, and all that is taking the same liner brush. You're going to use it by pressing down firmly with it. So you're going to put the very point, and then just set it down. So leave the point exactly where you set it, and then just drop it down to create a big kind of a drip. And I usually do 2 of them to create kind of a imperfect spot, and then a couple little spot shapes there. Maybe a couple more on that side. You can add some up in here if you'd like onto the white part. Try and keep them a little bit unnatural shape or natural shapes instead of perfect circles. Alright, if it's a girl, I would also add a couple little eyelashes sometimes. That makes it extra cute. But there you go, that is your super cute puppy dog right there. Very handsome. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this puppy dog tutorial. It's very popular. You're going to use it a lot. So thanks and see you next time.